terrorist inside your head, a combat protocol for rumination, distraction, and shiny objects. As an emergency medicine physician, the pace and constant up-down activity and task switching make my ADHD tendencies seem completely normal, at least when I'm toting a stethoscope and running from chest pain to trauma to overdose to worried well cases in the ER. Code blue at 3 a.m., my brain snaps to laser focus, multiple critical patients streaming them through the doors. I thrive in that controlled chaos, but when I hung up my white coat and stepped into the boardroom, or worse, sat down at my home office to work on entrepreneurial ventures, that same energy became my enemy. The mental agility that saved lives in the ER was now destroying my ability to build sustainable businesses and maintain focus on long-term strategic thinking. I'd catch myself jumping from market research to competitor analysis to social media research, read doom scrolling, to checking email to starting 3 different projects, all within the span of an hour. The hypervigilance that kept me alive in trauma situations had become a terrorist in my executive life, hijacking my attention and sabotaging my success. The truth hit me during a costly lesson. While I was busy chasing the latest marketing strategy, my main competitor quietly secured the partnership I'd been planning to pursue. My distraction cost me a huge opportunity. Here's what I learned. Your mind can be your greatest asset or your most dangerous enemy. The same neural pathways that make you excellent under pressure can become weapons of mass distraction when applied to long-term strategic thinking. The rumination that helps you consider every angle in life or death decisions becomes paralyzing overthinking in business decisions. After studying neuroscience, partnering with a coach, implementing dozens of focus protocols, and yes, losing significant money and opportunities to my own mental terrorism, I've discovered a battle-tested system to tame the terrorist inside your head. This field-tested protocol helps transform their scattered energy into laser-focused execution. The intelligence briefing, know your enemy. Before you can neutralize a threat, you need to understand its capabilities, attack patterns, and vulnerabilities. The terrorist inside your head operates through 3 primary weapon systems, each designed to sabotage your executive effectiveness, the trinity of mental terrorism. Rumination, the broken record operative. Rumination is your mind's tendency to replay negative scenarios, failures, and potential disasters on an endless loop. In the ER, this serves you well. Running through every possible complication keeps patients alive. But in business, rumination becomes a productivity assassin. Research from Harvard Business School shows that executives spend an average of 2.3 hours daily caught in rumination cycles. That's nearly 600 hours annually, equivalent to 15 full work weeks lost to mental replay. The financial impact? For a CEO earning $500,000 annually, rumination costs roughly $75,000 in lost productive time each year. Clinical note, the brain's default mode network, active during rest periods, can become hyperactive in high achievers. This network, designed for reflection and planning, becomes pathological when it locks onto negative scenarios. Distraction, the attention assassin. Modern executives face an unprecedented assault on attention. The average C-suite executive receives 126 emails daily, checks their phone 144 times, and task switches every 11 minutes. Each switch carries a cognitive cost. Research from Carnegie Mellon shows it takes an average of 23 minutes to fully refocus after interruption. The mathematics are brutal. If you're switching tasks every 11 minutes, but need 23 minutes to refocus fully, you're operating in a permanent state of partial attention. You're never fully present, never entirely focused, never fully effective. This is called attention residue. Gloria Mark's research at UC Irvine found that this constant task switching reduces IQ more than marijuana use and costs the U.S. economy $650 billion annually in lost productivity. Shiny object syndrome, the strategic saboteur. High achievers are particularly vulnerable to shiny object syndrome because we're wired to spot opportunities. The same pattern recognition that identifies market gaps also makes us susceptible to chasing every promising lead, strategy, or technology that crosses our path. Entrepreneurs are especially at risk. A study of 500 startup founders found that those who pursued more than 3 major initiatives simultaneously had a 40% lower success rate than those who maintained focused execution on 1 to 2 core objectives. The ROI question: what's the opportunity cost of unfocused excellence? If you're operating at 60% capacity across 5 initiatives, you're likely underperforming a competitor with a more focused approach operating at 90% capacity on 2 initiatives The neuroscience brief. Understanding the enemy requires understanding the battlefield, your brain. The prefrontal cortex, your brain's CEO, handles executive functions like planning, decision making, and focus, but it's metabolically expensive, consuming roughly 20% of your body's energy, despite being only 2% of your body weight. When fatigued, it defaults to more primitive brain regions. The anterior cingulate cortex monitors for conflicts and anomalies. In high achievers, this region can become hyperactive, constantly scanning for problems and opportunities. This hypervigilance, adaptive in medical emergencies, becomes maladaptive in strategic thinking environments. Dopamine pathways designed to reward goal achievement get hijacked by modern stimuli, email notifications, social media, news alerts. Each ping triggers a small dopamine release, training your brain to seek interruptions rather than sustained focus. Case studies. When the terrorist wins. Case study 1, the rumination trap. Sarah, CEO of a $50 million manufacturing company, spent 6 months ruminating over a failed acquisition that cost her company $2 million. While she replayed every decision, analyzed every misstep, and tortured herself with what-ifs, her primary competitor acquired 3 smaller firms and captured 15% additional market share. Sarah's rumination wasn't just unproductive, it was actively destructive. While she was mentally relitigating the past, the future was being written by more focused competitors. Cost analysis. 6 months of reduced strategic focus during a critical market expansion phase that estimated lost opportunity, $12 million in potential market share. Case study 2, the distraction disaster. Mark, founder of a promising fintech startup, prided himself on being plugged in. He monitored 15 Slack channels, 8 industry newsletters, 4 social media platforms, and maintained open door availability to his 30-person team. During a crucial investor presentation, Mark's phone buzzed with an urgent Slack message, a minor bug report. He glanced at it, lost his train of thought, and fumbled the key value proposition explanation. The $5 million Series A round went to a competitor. The terrorists' victory. A $5 million funding round lost to a 2-second attention hijack. Case study 3, the shiny object sabotage. Jennifer built a successful consulting practice, then discovered digital marketing. While pursuing that, she stumbled onto cryptocurrency. During the crypto research, she found an opportunity in dropshipping. 6 months later, she had 3 half-built businesses and a declining core consulting practice. Financial impact. Core business revenue dropped 40%, $200,000 annually, while she invested $75,000 across 3 failed initiatives. Total cost. $275,000 in 18 months of scattered focus. The Focus Protocol, your counterterrorism strategy. After analyzing dozens of focus methodologies, studying neuroscience research, and testing protocols in high-pressure medical and business environments, I discovered the Focus Protocol, a systematic approach to neutralizing mental terrorism. F. Freeze the mental hijacker. The 3-2-1 circuit breaker. The moment you recognize rumination, distraction, or shiny object syndrome taking hold, deploy the circuit breaker. 3. Deep breaths. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 6. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system and re-engages prefrontal cortex function. 2-minute awareness. Scan. Ask yourself, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? What triggered this mental hijack? 1 priority. Identification. What's the single most important thing I should be focusing on right now? Clinical note. This protocol mimics the mental reset I use between trauma patients. It creates a clean cognitive slate for the next task. When to deploy? At first recognition of mental hijacking. Don't wait. The terrorist grows stronger with time. Swipe. Observe the attack pattern. The executive threat assessment. You can't defend against attacks you don't understand. Track your mental terrorism patterns using the Executive Mental Security Log, Daily Rumination Audit, time spent in rumination loops. Track in 15-minute increments. Triggers that initiate rumination topics that trap your attention. Physical sensations accompanying rumination. Distraction. Trigger. Mapping. What interrupts your focus? Notifications, people, thoughts. When are you most susceptible? Time of day, energy levels. Which distractions derail you the longest? Shiny object pattern. Recognition. How often do new opportunities capture your attention? What types of opportunities are most seductive? What's your pattern of abandoning versus completing initiatives? Tool. Use a simple spreadsheet or note-taking app. Track for 1 week to establish baseline patterns. C. Contain the damage rapid response protocols. Once you understand your patterns, implement containment protocols. The rumination firewall. The 5-minute rule. When you catch yourself ruminating, set a timer for 5 minutes. Give yourself full permission to ruminate during those 5 minutes. When the timer ends, you must either take one concrete action toward resolution or consciously redirect your attention. This works because rumination feeds on resistance. By allowing controlled rumination, you paradoxically reduce its power while maintaining executive control. Distraction. Quarantine. The 25-minute focus fortress based on the Pomodoro technique, but optimized for executives. Choose one strategic priority. Eliminate all interruption sources, phone in drawer, notifications off, door closed. Work for 25 minutes on only that priority. Take a 5-minute break to check messages. Handle urgent items. Repeat for 4 cycles, then take a 30-minute break. The 80-20 of focus. Research shows that 25 minutes is the optimal focus period before cognitive fatigue sets in. This isn't about perfection, it's about creating islands of deep focus in an ocean of distraction. Shiny object containment, the 48-hour evaluation period when a new opportunity captures your attention. Write it down in your opportunity parking lot. Wait 48 hours before taking any action. After 48 hours, evaluate using these criteria. Does this align with my top 3 strategic priorities? What would I have to stop doing to pursue this? What's the opportunity cost of divided attention? Clinical note, in emergency medicine, we have a saying, don't just do something, stand there. Sometimes the most powerful action is conscious inaction. Unlock peak focus. States high-performance mental conditioning, the executive meditation protocol, 10 minutes, maximum ROI. Traditional meditation advice fails executives because it's designed for monks, not people running companies. Here's a protocol designed for busy brains. Minutes 1 to 2. Breath counting, 1 to 10 repeat. Minutes 3 to 5. Body scan. Notice physical tension without trying to change it. Minutes 6 to 8. Thought observation. Notice thoughts without engaging them. 9 to 10. Intention setting. Choose your focus for the next work block. Success metric. If you notice your mind wandering and bring it back, that's success. The goal isn't emptiness, it's awareness and control. Strategic monotasking frameworks. Multitasking is a myth. What we call multitasking is actually rapid task switching, and it's killing your effectiveness. Implement these monotasking frameworks. Time blocking. Assign specific time blocks to specific types of work. Strategic thinking, email, meetings, creative work. Attention architecture. Design your environment to support single task focus. One browser tab open at a time. Single document on screen physical workspace is clear, except for current task materials. The focus stack, environment, plus ritual. Accountability. Environment. Create a dedicated focus space that signals deep work to your brain. Same location, same setup, minimal visual distractions. Ritual. Develop a pre-focus routine that prepares your mind. 2-minute desk clearing, 1-minute intention setting. Timer. Start accountability. Share your focus commitments. Tell someone what you're working on and when you'll be done. Systematize. For long-term victory building, anti-terrorism infrastructure, individual willpower isn't enough. You need systems that make focus automatic and distraction difficult. Weekly mental security audits. Every Friday, conduct a 15-minute review. How many hours were spent in deep focus this week? What were your primary mental terrorism patterns? Which protocols worked? Which needs adjustment? What will you optimize next week? Team-level focus protocols. Your mental terrorism affects your entire organization. Implement team-wide focus protocols. Meeting hygiene. All phones are in a basket during meetings. Agenda with time allocations sent 24 hours prior. Standing meetings capped at 25 minutes. Communication protocols. Designate urgent versus non-urgent communication channels. Establish response time expectations. Urgent equals 1 hour. Non-urgent equals 24 hours. Block time for deep work on team calendars. Executive assistant as mental bodyguard. Train your assistant to protect your attention. Screen all meeting requests against strategic priorities. Handle routine decisions that don't require your input. Guard your calendar against death by 1,000 cuts. Scheduling. The weapons cache. Tools and tactics. Digital arsenal. Freedom. Website and app blocking software. Block distracting sites during focus periods. 3 per month. Rescue time. Automatic time tracking to understand where your attention actually goes. $12 per month. Forest. A gamified focus timer that plants virtual trees during focus sessions. 4. Cold turkey. Nuclear option for blocking distractions. It can't be disabled once activated. Free. Analog weapons. The single sheet strategic focus board. 1 sheet of paper with 3 sections. Current focus, 1 to 3 items max. Parking lot, everything else. Not doing, explicit list of what you're saying no to. The rumination, kill switch notebook, dedicated notebook for rumination cycles. Write down the rumination, set a timer for 5 minutes. Brainstorm one action you could take. Close the notebook and take the action, or consciously redirect. Environmental design. For focus position, your desk to face away from high traffic areas. Remove or minimize visible clocks. Time anxiety feeds distraction. Use noise canceling headphones even in quiet environments. Keep a water bottle at your desk to minimize movement breaks. Biochemical optimization, strategic caffeine timing. Caffeine blocks adenosine receptors, delaying fatigue, but timing matters. Avoid caffeine for the first 90 minutes after waking. Lets natural cortisol work. Consume caffeine 30 minutes before your most important focus block. Cut off caffeine 8 hours before bedtime. The executive fast. Mental clarity through controlled hunger. Mild hunger increases focus by elevating norepinephrine and reducing blood flow to the digestive system. Try a 16 to 8 intermittent fasting schedule with your eating window during your lowest focus hours. Clinical note: consult your physician before implementing any fasting protocol. This isn't appropriate for everyone. Sleep optimization as cognitive armor. Poor sleep multiplies mental terrorism. Optimize for focus. Consistent sleep, wake times, even on weekends. Room temperature 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Complete darkness. Blackout curtains or eye mask. No screens 1 hour before bed. Advanced tactics when you're under. Heavy fire. Crisis level. Rumination, the emergency protocol. When rumination becomes paralyzing. Brain dump. Write continuously for 10 minutes about the rumination topic. Don't edit, don't organize, just empty your head onto paper. Worst case scenario planning. Instead of avoiding the feared outcome, plan for it. What would you actually do if the worst case scenario occurred? Time boxing. Give yourself 1 hour to thoroughly research and plan around the rumination topic. When the hour ends, take one action or consciously redirect. Physical intervention, high-intensity exercise for 20 minutes. Physical exhaustion often breaks rumination cycles. High-stakes decision-making. Under distraction. When you must make important decisions while mentally compromised. The decision. Cleanse. Remove all decision-making tools, phone, computer, notes. Sit quietly for 5 minutes. Ask, if I had to decide right now with only the information in my head, what would I choose? Trust that initial response. Leading teams while managing internal terrorism. Your mental state affects your entire organization. When you're struggling with focus, transparent leadership. Acknowledge when you're not at full capacity. Delegate decisions that don't require your direct input. Model focus behaviors for your team. Protective scheduling. Block calendar time for deep work and defend it aggressively. Batch similar activities, all meetings on certain days, deep work on others. Use your highest energy hours for your highest impact work. Measuring victory. KP is for mental security. You can't manage what you don't measure. Track these metrics to quantify your progress. Focus time. Tracking hours per day in uninterrupted focus. Goal, 3 to 4 hours. Number of task switches per hour. Goal, fewer than 6. Time to refocus after interruption. Goal, under 2 minutes. Decision quality metrics. Decisions made per day, too many, indicates insufficient delegation. Time spent per decision category, strategic versus operational. Decision reversal rate, sign of insufficient initial focus. Revenue per hour of a focused work. Track correlation between deep focus hours and business outcomes. Most executives find their focus hours are 3 to 5 times more valuable than interrupted time. The mental ROI calculator. Simple formula. Revenues generated during focus time divided by total focus time equals focus R. Compare this to your overall hourly productivity. The gap will shock you and motivate continued improvement. The bottom line. The terrorist inside your head costs more than any external competitor. The greatest threat to your professional success isn't market volatility, emerging competitors, or economic uncertainty. It's the undisciplined mind that sabotages your potential from within. This internal adversary operates with ruthless efficiency, hijacking your cognitive resources precisely when you need them most. Consider the stark reality. While you're mentally rehashing last week's setbacks, your competitors are architecting next quarter's breakthroughs. As you navigate the endless stream of digital interruptions, they're executing focused strategies that compound into sustainable advantages. When you succumb to the allure of the latest productivity hack or business trend, they're deepening their expertise in areas that truly matter. This cognitive fragmentation carries a hidden but devastating cost. Research in neuroscience reveals that task switching can reduce productivity by up to 40%, while chronic mental wandering correlates with decreased job satisfaction and career advancement. Yet most professionals remain unaware of this silent performance killer. The focus protocol isn't just about productivity, it's about competitive advantage. In a world where everyone is distracted, the executive who controls their attention controls their industry. Start tomorrow. Pick one element of the focus protocol and implement it for 1 week. Don't try to transform everything at once. That's just another form of shiny object syndrome. Your mind will resist. The terrorist will fight back. That's when you know you're winning. The executive who controls their attention controls their empire. The question isn't whether you can afford to implement these protocols, it's whether you can afford not to.